How's it going, everybody? Tommy here, along with my co-host Nick, talking about video games. Nick, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, man. All right, so basically what we're going to be doing is every week we'll be talking about the games that we're playing, the games that we pick up, a little bit of news and some release dates and stuff like that. We're not going to just, you know, bore you down with a bunch of news and stuff when you've probably already heard a lot of it, but we will discuss, some of the more important stuff to us and things like that. So let's get on into it here. We got one of the biggest things I guess to talk about is PlayStation is not going to be at E3 this year. Nick, did you hear about this?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, but maybe they'll do something better for the good. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk. There's a lot of rumors out there as to why, and some people saying maybe PlayStation just doesn't have enough to show. I don't believe that at all. Then, of course, there's the talk about PlayStation, bringing back the PSX and just doing their own thing, and I can definitely see them doing that. Especially with the PS4 somewhere or PS5 somewhere on the horizon coming up. I can definitely see them just doing their own thing, but it is really unfortunate because I mean there's E3 and PlayStation have really just went hand in hand for so many years. They've really been in my opinion, like they've stole the show the majority of the years, and uh, so without them there, man, they're definitely E3 is losing a lot in my opinion, and I don't even know. I definitely won't be watching E3 as much or very much of it at all because the Nintendo stuff, they just have the Nintendo Directs, which I can just go on YouTube and watch on its own. Don't have to watch the rest of E3 just to see the Nintendo Direct, and I'm not an Xbox person, so I don't really, not really interested in what Xbox is doing. So, but there are still, indie developers and, smaller companies that, will be showing off their games and stuff like that. So some of that stuff I would definitely want to see, but man, it's really crazy that PlayStation's not going to be there. It seems like it came out of nowhere too. Definitely didn't expect
Yeah.
it. I don't think anybody did, but so here's some release dates coming up here. We got Just Cause 4, supposed to be coming out December 4th. I've never really played one of the Just Cause games. I have a couple of them, but I've never actually played them. Have you, Nick?
I haven't really played it. Like I know what it's like and all. I just never really got around to it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely will eventually play them. It's just kind of like you said, never kind of got around to it, I guess. Um, Also, one that I'm really interested in seeing is the Team Sonic Racing game. It's supposed to be coming out next month. I'm guessing it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a karting style game or just some arcade, racing game. I really don't know.
I would really love a karting game.
Yeah, there's not, of course, Nintendo has, Mario Kart, and PlayStation really hasn't had anything karting wise since the Little Big Planet karting, which, I mean, I love that game. I thought it was great. I played through the whole thing and just had so much fun playing with other people. And it's just, unfortunately, they just let it go. They never did any more sequels to it or anything. And I would have loved them to just keep updating that game, and it could definitely be a big thing, which I guess, if you think about it, they kind of let Little Big Planet go. I mean, there for a while, Little Big Planet was a big deal, and it was kind of like the flagship of PlayStation for a while. But then once 3 came out, it just kind of seemed like Little Big Planet just kind of tanked, and I don't know why. I mean, I haven't played the third one. Maybe it was terrible. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've only played the original. I just played the first one. Never even got around to the second one. I would love to. Just again, my backlog's ridiculous. So who knows when I'll get around to it. But the Little Big Planet game that I played was awesome. It was a lot of fun. For some reason, the third one just kind of, it just tanked and just went nowhere. And but I would have loved to have seen the Little Big Planet karting continue. So maybe it'll be like that. I don't know. It's just weird. I've not heard of this game anywhere else. Just recently, I saw that it was coming out next month without hearing anything about it beforehand. Um, we also got a game that a lot of people have been waiting a long time for, and that's Kingdom Hearts 3, January 25th. If it doesn't get pushed back even more, which wouldn't surprise me since it's been pushed back so many times now. But I think this is going to be, the rock solid date on it. I played through the second one, I believe it was. I played through it and beat it. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, whenever Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, man, everybody's going to be really preoccupied with that. And then December 7th, coming up really soon, we've got the Super Smash Bros. For the Switch. That's
That's
another.
gonna make the gaming community go crazy.
Oh yeah, that's going to take over for sure. It's going to be a
Do you
huge
remember
deal.
how many characters are available in that game?
Oh man, it's ridiculous. I don't remember the number, but I mean it's way more than any other Smash Bros. Game. Of course, it's ridiculous though. I mean, so many characters you have to choose from on this. Hopefully, though, 30 of them aren't taken up by Fire Emblem characters. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking that one up and looking forward to playing that. Uh, Speaking of the Switch, I love my Switch. It's awesome. Uh, and man, Nintendo really hit it out of the park with the Switch, man. Like a lot of people are skeptical, and after the Wii U, a lot of people didn't like the Wii U for whatever reason. I loved it. Um, I guess people were just confused and didn't really know what to do with it at first. And I'll even admit, when I first saw it, when the Wii U was first announced, and I saw the big screen, that you have as your controller, I was like, man, is that the controller, or is it more like a handheld, or like what is it? Like it was really confusing to me at first too. But
Yeah.
man, once I got one, dude, I love it. It's awesome. There's so many good games. You got the virtual console on there that has, I mean, Turbo Graphics games and SNES and NES and Game Boy and N64. Uh, Man, there's just so many awesome games on there, and I love the Wii U, but a lot of people didn't like it. The sales were terrible for Nintendo. So a lot of people, man, I remember a lot of people talking about, hey, maybe Nintendo should just stop making their own consoles and pair up with PlayStation or Microsoft and just start, selling their games to them, like the Mario games be on PlayStation or Xbox or, stuff like that. And I'm glad they didn't do that. I don't think Nintendo would do that. I think like a major catastrophe would have to happen with Nintendo. And I don't think it's going to happen because they're not just, video games and consoles. In Japan, they have, toys and everything. I mean, Nintendo is a huge deal in Japan. So I don't see them hurting.
And in New York, they have a Nintendo store. Like, they have, whenever I went in there, they had all these different kinds of things you can do in there. They had Pokemon cards for sale in there. It was crazy. It was
Yeah,
like
Nintendo's a huge deal. They're not hurting, especially after the Switch though. But I mean that's what I was getting to. After the Switch came out, it just Nintendo was baby faces again, as you would say in wrestling. They were they were huge again, and I'm glad, man, because the Switch is awesome. I love the Switch, and they really hit it out of the park with that. But
other thing with Nintendo, one of the reasons I think is why it was like going down under is that because they weren't using the cartridges anymore.
do you think
They
that
were.
hurt them?
I think that like older fans like you and like your generation, like you all were like, wanting the nostalgic feel of cartridges other than just discs?
I don't think that. I don't know. I think we're gonna have to agree disagree on that one because, I mean, PlayStation was doing just fine. There's plenty of adults and people from my
But did they ever
generation
do
playing
cartridges?
PlayStation.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I don't think anyone was like, man, I would buy this Wii U if it was only for cartridges instead of discs. Like I really don't think that had anything to do with it.
No, it just seemed like Nintendo was really big with cartridges other than just disc.
Only, well, obviously, when they started, it was all cartridges. Everybody was using cartridges back then. Discs would have just been way too expensive back then for people to afford. But and then when the GameCube came out, that's when they switched to the small, little discs, which GameCube still sold really well. GameCube did awesome. And I'd be curious what the statistics are on Nintendo as far as, especially going back to like a Wii U. I wonder if more kids or adults were buying the Wii U. That'd be a real interesting statistic to see because, I mean, a lot of kids buy Nintendo because,
Yeah.
it's Mario, it's Kirby, you have, characters like that, Yoshi, uh,
Luigi.
yeah, the Animal Crossing, you got all those kind of games. But then again, there's a lot of people from my generation that grew up with Mario and, will always be playing those games. And speaking of Mario, so once a month, we're going to be doing a game of the month book club where where every month we are going to choose a game and we're going to be playing it, hopefully to finish, to beat it, and come back and talk about it at the end of the month. And if you all want to join in and play as well and leave in the comments, we can discuss. That'd be awesome. So for the game for December will be Super Mario 3D Land for the Nintendo 3DS. And Nick, when is the last time you played a Mario game?
Oh God.
It's been a while, huh?
I played Mario Kart on the Wii.
Yeah,
And
but
but like an actual like Mario game, jeez, I don't know.
yeah, for me, for me, I'm always playing Mario games, and whenever Mario Odyssey came out, I mean, I bought it, beat it. That was another awesome game. Uh, which, man, there's not a single Mario game that sucks. I mean, that's pretty incredible when you think about all the Mario games, and not one of them are terrible, in my opinion. And I don't include the terrible education rip-off games that they had back in the day for like NES, like Mario is Missing, where like Mario went around some town talking to people, and it was all like historical type stuff. Or were you Luigi looking for Mario? I can't remember. I had it on NES and it was just so terrible. I'm pretty sure I traded it in years ago, but then I don't even count those games because it wasn't really a Mario game, but it just used Mario. But so yeah, that's what we're gonna be playing, Super Mario 3D on the 3DS, and we'll come back at the end of the month. We're still going to be doing these weekly, and we'll talk about our progress and where we are and everything. But I want to thank everybody for listening. And well, before we go, I guess I kind of forgot here. What are we playing right now, Nick? What are you currently playing?
I've been playing a lot of Spyro.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all, man. Spyro, it's like I've been saying it for years. I mean, since the PS3 days, I've been saying, man, I wish they would make a new Spyro. I wish they'd make a new Spyro. I get it. They released on PlayStation 3, you could go on the store on PlayStation Network and buy the PS1 classics. But still, I wanted, I wanted it to be updated, but I didn't want it to be messed with too much. And that's exactly what they did with the Spyro trilogy. I'm so glad they did that. I've been waiting for it for years, and I had to believe that it was coming when they started doing like the Crash Bandicoot after all these years. I'm like, all right, man, they have to be doing Spyro now. They have to. And I'm so glad they did. To me, after Crash, don't get me wrong, I love Crash Bandicoot, but I was way more into Spyro than Crash. I feel like Spyro should have been their mascot, but I get why it was Crash. So
Yeah,
besides Spyro, what have you, is that what you've been playing?
I've been playing Spyro, a little bit of Red Dead 2, and a little bit of Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty.
Yeah, Black Ops 4.
Yep.
Yeah, that's I've been playing Black Ops 4 as well. I love it. I think it's awesome. Um, I still haven't played a zombies map yet, which is crazy because anyone that knows me as far as video games and stuff, like I was obsessed with Black Ops 2 zombies. I still love Black Ops 2 zombies. I can play that anytime, but um, and I don't know. After when I picked it up, I mostly started playing the battle royale mode because I was really interested in seeing how it was going to be.
I
'Cause I
didn't
do
really like it.
really see. I know some people don't, but I liked it a lot, man. I think it's awesome. To me, it's like a really good in between of like Fortnite and like H1Z1 or PUBG or whatever. To me, it's like in between the middle of those. Because I love Fortnite. I think it's awesome, even though I'm terrible at it. I like H1Z1, but not nowhere near as much as Fortnite. And I have played PUBG. My brother has an Xbox, so I have played PUBG, and I didn't like that at all. To me that was just
PUBG is coming to PlayStation.
yeah.
If you didn't see that.
I don't know. PUBG to me was just too bland, and I just didn't really care for it. So the Black Ops Battle Royale mode I thought was really good. The multiplayer, I mean, man, Call of Duty. Even if you don't like Call of Duty, uh, I mean, you have to admit that when it comes to like first person shooter, nobody does it better than Call of Duty. Even if you don't like you don't have to like them for whatever reason, but when it comes to like mechanics of a first person shooting game, nobody beats Call of Duty. They've perfected it.
In another battle royale, I'm going to be playing it tonight on Red Dead. Red Dead has their own battle royale like mode, as of what I heard,
Wow.
for their online.
Dude, everybody's jumping on the battle royale mode right now. Like it's the big thing. Everybody's doing it. And
Oh
eventually
yeah.
it will burn out. Eventually
Oh,
people are going to get
it's
tired of
going
it.
to after the mass production of it. It's only been a year, and there's so many battle royale games.
Well, Fortnite and H1Z1, they've been around for a while, man. It's been way over a year.
Fortnite came out July of last year.
Well, I guess
So,
for PlayStation, as far as it being on PlayStation, I guess it is a little more, it's not been around as long. But for on PC and stuff, man, like these games have been out for a while. So, but yeah, but that's but that's it, guys. So we want to thank you. Oh yeah, what I've been playing. Second time I've done that already. It's been a long day, guys. This is our second time recording this, by the way, at least. So I've been playing the original Final Fantasy 1. I'm playing it from the Final Fantasy Origins that came out on PlayStation 1.
I really want to play that.
Yeah, it's an awesome game. I love it a lot. I love those old school style RPGs like that, like
Pokemon.
Suikoden and like all those kind of old school games. Um, I love those games. And just something interesting here. I used to hate RPGs when I was younger, and really up until about 5 or 6 years ago, I just did not like RPGs. I liked everything else. I just couldn't get into RPGs. First time I saw an RPG was my brother was playing like Final Fantasy. I want to say it was 8 or 9, something around in there. And I just kind of, it was the first time I'd ever been exposed to an RPG. I never really seen them, heard of them before. And I was just like, man, this looks really, really boring. Like, why do you just want to sit there and choose, attack or run? Like, I want to actually either attack or run. Like, I want to control the character to do it, not just have to, choose the words on the screen to do it. But man, I love RPGs now. And really, what started was 5 or 6 years ago. I was just looking for something different. Just wanted to try something different, different style of game. And searching around on the PlayStation Network on PS3, I ran into Suikoden, and I was like, okay, man, I'll check this one out. It was the first one on PS1, and I fell in love with it. I love that game. That's still one of my favorite games of all time. I beat it, and ever since then, I love those. I mean, I love RPGs in general, but especially like the old school style. And one of the things about Final Fantasy One and those older games that a lot of people hate are the amount of grinding. To me, I love grinding. Like I don't mind it. Like going around grinding just to level up your characters and your skills, and I don't mind that. To me, it's kind of part of it. What's that?
Diablo is like that too.
Uh, Man, I don't think I did any grinding on Diablo. Like going around just trying to level up your character. I don't think I ever did that.
Oh, I've been doing it.
Really? I never did it. Maybe if you're like going back and trying to like play it on the different levels and different characters and all that, but I just went through it the first time and beat it. And uh I remember having to raise the difficulty level in that game because I was just like I never died throughout the whole game until finally I was like, man, I wanted to raise the difficulty. It wasn't on easy. I think it was like on normal or whatever it is, like whatever the middle is. And it was just like, man, like I'm not getting killed at all. So I had to raise it up just so I could, actually die a couple times, I guess. But guys, I want to thank you all for listening and subscribe if you like it, and leave some comments there. And Nick, you said we got a Twitter now too, right?
Yes, it is at Talksnick. I might be changing the at soon. Something else. But that's the username for now. Or you
Okay.
can just look up the regular username, and that's Tommy and Nick Talks with no spaces, I believe.
Okay. Tommy and Nick Talks. Look that up on Twitter. You'll be able to find us. I want to thank everybody for listening to us. We'll see you next week, and good night.